I'm Stevie J with your UFC 157 Ronda Rousey versus Liz Carmouche weigh-in results. Interesting note about the weigh-ins today, Joe Rogan was not in the building. Mike Goldberg narrated the opening video segment where they thanked all the sponsors and then essentially threw it to himself as he walked out to do the live weigh-ins. And of course, filling the Joe Rogan role, he thanked Burt Watson, Ariani, Dana White, all the usual suspects. Our first Facebook fight was also the biggest miss of the weigh-ins. Nah-Shon Burrell came in at 175.8. It was pretty clear this was going to happen because Dana White had a discussion with Mike Goldberg as he was getting undressed to step on the scale. His opponent Villefort weighed in first and he was fine. He came in at 170 even. Goldberg announced that they had agreed to take the fight and that Nah-Shon Burrell's purse would be docked and given to his opponent. John Manley and Neil Magny was up next. 171 each. Kenny Robertson and Brock Jardine also at welterweight, and they were 170 each. Then we moved to the prelims on FX. Sam Stout and Caros up first, 155 even for both men. Dennis Bermudez and Matt Grice at featherweight, 145 for both men. Chiesa versus Kuivanen at lightweight, 156 for Kuivanen. Chiesa came in just a little over the 1 pound allowance at 156.2. Dana White didn't make him break out the towel, he just shook it off and the two struck a pose for the fight. Brendan Schaub and Lavar Johnson as the heavyweight main event of FX, 255 for Johnson and 242 for the hybrid. Goldberg said 243 by mistake. Incidentally, this was not the first mistake that he made. Goldberg also couldn't figure out who Neil Magny and John Manley were. And I don't know how you make that mistake, given it's pretty obvious just looking at them, but he did finally figure it out in the end. On to the pay-per-view card. Josh Koscheck and Robbie Lawler, 171 each. Court McGee versus Josh Neer at welterweight, 171 for Neer, 170 for McGee. Urijah Faber versus Ivan Menjivar, 135.6 for Menjivar, and 136 for Faber. Light heavyweight, Lyoto Machida and Dan Henderson, 205 even for Hendo. Machida came in way under at 202. And our main event, the women's bantamweight title fight, Ronda Rousey defending for the first time in the first women's fight on pay-per-view and the first women's fight to main event a UFC against Liz Carmouche. She was 133.6. Ronda Rousey was 134.6. Liz thanked all her fans and said she was grateful to them for making it possible for her to be here. Rousey said that she won't say she's the champion until she wins, and then she won't say it again until after she beats her next opponent, because every fight is a new fight. Goldberg asked her if she'd do an armbar, and she started laughing and said, maybe. And that's it for the weigh-ins. I'm Stevie J from AngryMarks.com.